We're still talking about production possibility curve, but today we need to talk about economic growth, causes of positive and negative economic growth. What is economic growth? Economic growth means increase in output. That is what economic growth is basically. What it basically means that the output is growing because for every economy, what you do is you produce either in goods or in services. So these things that we produce are outputs. So if our output increases, it means that the economy is growing. So economic growth means increase in output. Is that clear? So economic growth, increase in output. So here they said at a particular point in time, a country cannot produce combinations of goods that lie on the right of the PPC. However, over a long period of time, an economy would expect to raise the production of all goods. This is called economic growth. So there are different reasons why. What they are trying to say is that at a point in time, because we know that the production possibility curve combines two different resources, two different production that a country can produce at a given point in time. That's the combination of a PPC. So we are having product A and product B that can be combined to be produced at any point in time. But we cannot produce both of them at the same level. That is why we are having PPC and opportunity cost. So, but over the time, in the long run, we would try as an economy, as a country, to increase our output. If we successfully do that, then there's economic growth. I think that is clear. So, how do we get into economic growth? What are the reasons? What are the factors that would enable us to have an increase in output? Number one, new technology. The other said, as time passes, new technology is developed and this benefits businesses. For example, new machines such as robots, computers, telecommunications, and internet have been used by businesses to help increase productive potential. New technology is usually faster and more reliable in production, and therefore more output can be produced. So, the use of technology would only increase productivity because technology will make things to become faster. So that is the importance of technology. And a country that adopts that system of using technology, machine, equipment to produce, it will enhance their productivity. That means their output in that country will increase. Then the PPC curve will shift outward. That is economic growth. But a country that is unable to adopt technology might be having a negative economic growth. Is it clear? Two, improved efficiency. When we talk about improved efficiency, yeah, they said over time, sources are used more efficiently. New production methods such as casing. Casing means continuous improvement. It's a Japanese term meaning continuous improvement. And lean production. Lean production means you use fewer resources for your production method. So, for example, have been developed and adopted. The more efficient methods replace the old ones, and more output can be produced with fewer resources. What they are talking about efficiency is that you are able to do it well. With efficiency, what happens? You'll be able to produce as at when due. So businesses try to adopt new methods of production, like the lean production, using fewer resources to make production. That is lean, or continuous improvement in your products. So these are ways in which a business would be able to increase its output. Do you understand the second one here? Then the third one is education and training. Education and training. An economy can boost the productive potential of a nation by educating and training the population. A country's economy becomes more productive as the proportion of educated workers increases. Are you there? So, an economy that has more educated workforce or more educated population, definitely that economy will be growing because different people with different ideas, different skills will evolve. This is because educated workforce can more efficiently carry out tasks that required reading and writing, analysis, evaluation, communication, and critical thinking. Because you are educated, information becomes easier for you to understand. So analysis will be able to be made. Critical thinking will work. You'll be able to think about how to carry out different activity, how to improve in whatever you do. That is what education is all about. However, a country has to find the right balance between academic and vocational education. We know academics already, reading, that's education. But vocation, when we talk about vocation, it means training for a particular, training you to have certain skills for a particular job. That is vocation. So we have to understand the difference between academics and vocational. So if I need you to carry out a specific task and it is not part of your educational background, you need to be trained for that. That is vocation. So we need to train you specifically for a skill to carry out a particular task. That is vocation. Is it clear? So an economy that is able to increase, that is able to use technology, an economy that is able to improve its efficiency by adopting new production method, an economy that is able to educate its population and train its workforce will definitely have improvement in output. That means the economy, the output of that country will increase. Do you understand what economic growth is all about now? Great. Then we go on. The fourth one, new resources. When we talk about new resources, then says some countries find new resources that enables them to produce more. For example, in recent years, the US has raised its productive potential by producing more oil through fracking. Fracking involves shooting a mixture of mostly water and sand under high pressure against rock until it fractures or breaks. The sand fills the fracture, forcing oil out of the rock formation. Fracking now provides the US with around 50% of its oil needs. This is up from just 2% in 2000. So if countries can produce more, the PPC will shift outward. I said that already. So what they are trying to tell us is a country that is able to find new resources that would add up to the resources they have, then the output will increase. So new resources can also be a way to increase, to have economic growth. Do you understand? We're talking about factors that determine economic growth in an economy. The first one is new technology, advancement in technology. The second one is efficiency. And when we talk about efficiency, we're talking about finding different methods for production, using casing, using lean production. How you are able to use your resources efficiently. That is what efficiency is about. The third one is education and training. Education and training would also increase the technical know-how of your workforce, and that would improve productivity. And the last one is new resources. When new resources are found, when new resources are discovered in a country, like in this country now there is a new oil found or whatever it is, this will increase the output of that country. So all these ones will shift the PPC outward. So a PPC that shifts inward is a negative economic growth. That is economic decline. So if your PPC is shifting outward, it's economic growth. If it's shifting inward, it is economic decline. I think you understand the difference here. Then we go down. Yeah, look at what we have here. We have consumer goods and capital goods. So we have PPC1, PPC2. Here they said, based on what we have here, they said finally it is possible for the PPC to shift inward. This would represent a negative economic growth. I said that already, right? If the PPC is shifting inward, it represents what? A negative economic growth. That means the economy of that country is falling. So, okay. All right. So now, they said this will represent negative economy. That is where a country's productive potential actually falls. It may be caused by resource depletion. The first reason why your economy, the first factor that determines economic decline or reasons for economic decline is what? One, resource depletion. When we talk about resource depletion, it means resources are used up. They have, this country has a lot of oil, but now they have less. So that means their economy is what? Going down. The PPC is shifting inward. Two, weather condition. Weather condition can also affect the economic growth. Like for example, like bad weather condition. When there's bad weather condition, what happens? Agricultural products will not be produced because agricultural products need a good weather condition to make the crops or plants to germinate. Without a good weather, a country that doesn't have that kind of weather that helps agriculture would not be able to produce agricultural products. And that might be what? Economic decline. The third one. Economic growth in a particular country might also be negative if large numbers of highly qualified, skilled, and experienced workers moved overseas. Another reason why an economy could be in decline is when your skilled workers, your workforce, those that are educated, are emigrating. They are emigrating, not immigrating now, emigrating. That means they are leaving your country for greener pastures. They are leaving. So when they leave, that means your country is short of skilled workforce. And when you are short of skilled workforce, your country, your output will fall. Because those that you're expecting to carry out this efficient, those that are efficient are leaving your shop. So if they leave, then what happens to your economy? The economy will go down in terms of production of goods and services. Is it clear? Another reason why we could have economic decline is war, political instability. When the economy is not stable. Remember when during the war, are you with me, please? Okay. Like some 3, 4 years back, Libya is unable to produce um, even 500,000 barrel of oil, of crude oil in a day because of the war. A lot of damage were done to where they get this oil from. Oil facility guards stopped working. A lot of things happened. So there was no output. So what happens? The export of oil in Libya reduces. The exploration of oil in Libya reduces to maybe 100,000, 200,000, 300,000 barrels per day. But these days, with a little stability, Libya is able to reach 1 million barrels per day. Do you see the difference here? From 100,000, 150,000, struggling to make, now they're making 1 million. So it means that if the country becomes more stable than what it is right now, they might reach up to 2 million barrels per day. And the more barrel they are able to produce a day, the more revenue that comes to the government. Because mostly Libya's strength is on oil. So if the country is stable, oil will flow, will be exported. Do you understand? So economic decline could be as a result of war, political instability. Do you understand? So we've talked about causes of negative economic growth, which is economic decline. We talked about emigration of your educational workforce or skilled workforce, emigration, moving out of the country. We talked about resource depletion, that means the use up of resources. We talked about war. Now, we talked about war and we talked about poor weather condition. So these are reasons why an economy might be not witnessing a negative or decline. Now, we talked about why an economy will be witnessing economic growth if they are educated, if their workforce is educated and trained, if they have good weather conditions, if the country is politically stable, if the economy or if there's new technology advancement, if there's technological advancement, and if new resources are found. So these are ways in which an economy can, the PPC of an economy will shift outward. Is it clear? Do you have any questions about it? Okay. Then we go down. Now we have a question immediately. The other said, which of the following question is associated with the basic economic problem? When to produce, who should produce, what to produce, where should production be located? Which one is associated with the basic economic problem? No.
A.
No.
C.
C. The basic economic problem is associated with what to produce, how to produce, for whom to produce to. And we only have one here, which is what? Which is what? What to produce. The answer is C. Is it clear?
Yes.
The second question says, which of the following might be considered a need rather than a want? A. Thank you there. So we'll go with that. Then we go down. Then we have a case study here. They said the country is able to produce agricultural and non-agricultural goods. It is currently at point X. So the country is able to produce at point X. Are you there? On the production possibility curve as shown in figure 1.8, this figure, okay, we are able to see what it means here. The analysis about this, let me just make it out. At point X, we have, so two goods are here talking about, we're talking about non-agricultural goods, which can be produced, 8 million units can be produced at point X, at point X. Do you get it? Are you there with me, please? Are you there? Okay. 8 million can be produced at point X. And at the same time, let's say this is 15. No, it's more than. This should be around 17.5. I think 17, above 17, because this is 15, right? And this is half. That's 2.5. Yeah, it's 17.5. So that means agricultural goods can be produced. 17.5 million agricultural goods can be produced, and 8 million non-agricultural goods can be produced. Are you there with me, please?
Yes.
Okay, great. So that is the first point we need to take note. Then let's go to what the question is asking us, okay? Now, sharper question. Describe what a production possibility curve is. Use this case as an example in your answer. So this is how you answer such question. First, you define production possibility curve, which is what? The combination of two different goods that can be produced in an economy if all resources are fully utilized. And in this case study, we have agricultural and non-agricultural products. That is how you put your answer. Is it clear? I'm going to write it out anyway. The question two, they said, according to the PPC, decision makers in this country must make what key choice? So, yeah, decision makers are those, they could be government, they could be firms. It depends on the kind of economy we run. So, decision makers are those that determine economic allocation of resources. So, in this case, decision makers have to think of either producing agricultural goods or producing non-agricultural goods. Do you understand? They can also think about how they can improve on non-agricultural goods or agricultural goods to shift the PPC outward. So this is what decision makers will talk about. Is it clear? Then go to the third one. Let's see what the third question is saying. I'm going to write them out anyway. So the third question says, why is point T on the diagram currently unobtainable? Let's see point T. Oh, point T is out of the PPC curve. And if it is out of it, it means that this economy doesn't have the resources to produce at that point. That is why it is out of the production possibility curve. Do you understand? It means that at point T, what happens? The economy doesn't have resources to produce either agricultural goods or non-agricultural goods. Is it clear? Then we go on to question, I think it has question 4 too, right? Yeah, question 4. They said, the country is considering a movement from X to Y. What would be the opportunity cost of such movement? Well, let's go back to what is X and Y. X and Y. Let me just write them out first and see. Okay. Okay, please. It said the country is moving from point X to Y. What would be the opportunity cost at this point? From point X to Y, we said point X, at point X, we have 17.5 million agricultural goods, right? At the same time, we have 8 million non-agriculture, right? 8 million non-agriculture. So if the country is moving from point X to Y, it means that the country will be able to produce 12 million. Are you there, girl? It will be able to produce 12 million agricultural goods. That's an increase of what? 4 million. Please, are you with me?
Yes.
That means there will be an increase of 4 million in terms of non-agricultural goods. That's from point X to Y, from 8 to 12 million. So that means the country will increase its production of agriculture from 8 to 12 million. That means there's 4 million increase in output. And at the same time, the country will drop from 17.5 million to 15 million in terms of agricultural products, right? From 17.5 million to 15 million. So for the country to get to 12 million non-agricultural goods, that means 17.5 million minus 15 million would be 2.5 million. So that means the country would sacrifice 2.5 million agricultural goods to reach 12 million of non-agricultural goods. So what is the opportunity cost? Listen now, I said the country is at point X, producing 17.5 million at point X and 8 million for non-agricultural goods. That is at point X. But there's a movement now from X to Y. So the movement from X to Y for agricultural goods will be 17.5 million to 15 million. And the movement from X to Y for non-agricultural goods will be 8 million to 12 million. Yes or no? So that means agricultural goods will increase by 4 million. That's 12 minus 8, 4 million. Then non-agricultural goods will reduce from 17.5 to 15 million. That's 17.5 million minus 15 million. That's 2.5 million. So agricultural goods has been sacrificed by 2.5 million to increase the unit of non-agricultural goods to 4 million. So what is the opportunity cost? $2.5 million agricultural goods is been sacrificed. 4 million non-agricultural goods has been produced. So what is the opportunity cost?
More resources.
What is opportunity cost? Opportunity cost is the next best alternative forgone. The cost of the next best alternative forgone. The sacrifice you made because you are making a choice. That is opportunity cost. Now, the economy has been able to increase the capacity of non-agricultural products by reducing the output of agricultural products. So what is the sacrifice made here?
More agricultural goods.
The country has increased non-agricultural goods by 4 million and reduced agricultural goods by 2.5 million. So what is the sacrifice made here? The country has increased the capacity of non-agricultural goods from 8 million, based on what we are seeing on the graph, from 8 million to 12 million. That means the country has made the choice of increasing non-agricultural goods. At the same time, had to make a choice of reducing agricultural goods. So the country has reduced agricultural goods by 2.5 million because it has moved from X to Y, from 17.5 million to 15 million, based on what we have on the graph. So the sacrifice made is the 2.5 million agricultural goods that will not be produced. So the opportunity cost is the 2.5 million agricultural goods. Please take note of what here it's sacrifice. Sacrifice of 2.5 has been made by not producing more agricultural goods. That is the choice. That is the choice that was not made. The choice that was not made is the opportunity cost. The choice that was made is to increase the output of non-agricultural goods. That is the real cost. Please take notes. Question 5. Using the diagram, consider the effect that the discovery of fresh oil reserve might have on this type of country. Discovery of fresh oil reserve will only shift the output of that country outward. From all these points outward. Do you have any question about them now? Are you sure it's clear now? So back to the question. The sacrifice that was made, is it the real cost or the opportunity cost? What? Thank you.